Hi, guys. Hey, Scorpios, welcome back. Scorpios, I want to do a little peek at whomever it is that is thinking of Scorpio. And this is kind of in a different respect, it's a way to kind of look at the Akashic records. So there's this concept that there's this cosmic library that exists where everything that we can do, have done, will do already exists, is already recorded. And all we must do is like pull a different book off the cosmic shelf if we would like to timeline jump and, like experience a different chapter of our life or a different style of our own life. And we almost never look at it from the other person's perspective and what they might be thinking about or doing in their timeline. So I wanted to look at it a little bit like who is the person who's thinking of Scorpio right now? So, first off, we've got that Four of Wands, but the Six of Swords, but our first card was the Five of Wands. So we have them in a place where they are thinking very heavily about moving, leaving something, going into calmer waters. They could be thinking about leaving a relationship, leaving a job, leaving a place that they've lived. But the thing is, it would be to leave for something better, something that they view as much more stable, much more loving, much more. Is this person about to, or are they contemplating or thinking about leaving a situation in order to move toward Scorpio? We have the Tower. I mean, I would say that this is somebody who's almost like ready to give it all up. There's a great song by Judah the Lion, and I'd take it all back just to have you. I don't know, that's coming to mind. Hang on, let me immediately change decks and just ask what is the way their mind is thinking specifically about Scorpio. The Scorpio is the woman in red, either way we slice it. Scorpio is the desired partnership. We have an alpha pair, lion and lioness. Scorpio would definitely be that Four of Wands. Okay, we'll come back to that in just a second, but I want to now look a little closer and say, so hang on. What is it they're contemplating leaving? An Ace of Wands, King of Swords, something that at one point in time they wanted very much. This could be somebody that they had started dating. This could be somebody that it was like, oh, hubba hubba, I'm really attracted to this person. And that might have been the case. For some reason, I'm just going to say it. This seems like, I don't know, maybe this is somebody who's like 45-ish and they used to chase like, people that were like 23 and they've lost their taste or they're losing their taste for like, I'll say, without insulting more youthful individuals, I'll just say that what's more attractive to them now is wisdom and, like self-assuredness. And I don't know, that's what I get. So I'm just going to say it. It feels like this is somebody who maybe used to believe that, they were attracted to a type or that they, maybe they tended to date in the be attracted and date in the age bracket that was, maybe significantly more youthful than themselves, like 40s to like 26. That can be a big difference depending on maturity level, right? It's definitely a different decade of life. It's definitely a different mindset. Different accomplishments have likely been achieved in personal development and sometimes other forms of development also in our life, like career path and monetary path. And, I know I'm different at 45 than I was at 26. So I'll just look at it maybe in that context. And there's nothing wrong with, an age difference, but for some reason that's what comes to mind. And I always try to tell the story that pops up. But it's so wild because if that's who they used to like, I think what they're maybe shocked to discover is that's not their taste anymore. That's not their preference anymore. I don't even know if they were dating somebody. They're on the outside of like a door. So I'm thinking that they were about to ask somebody out. And then it's like they meet Scorpio or it's like something completely just wakes them up to who Scorpio is, what Scorpio brings to the table. And it's like, oh my God, Scorpio is head and shoulders more intriguing, more alluring, more and there's this huge sense of respect also for like Scorpio's like real. I'm hearing Tom Jones. She's a lady. Um, I think that that's a great song to describe her. We've got the Seven of Wands. They also recognize, I think, when they now start to compare themselves to Scorpio, I think that this King of Swords is feeling like maybe I'm the one who hasn't been that mature. They are really mulling over, like this Scorpio has given them something to think about. Look, low key, I think that they're already madly in love with Scorpio, even if they've never had a single date with Scorpio. This could be somebody who was always chasing, youth in themselves, and that's why they dated maybe in a younger group or age bracket. Maybe that's why they're like 40 going after 26 or something. Maybe there was a reason, or maybe it was all just sincere and they were just like, that's just who I'm attracted to. It doesn't even have to be an age bracket difference. It's just that came to mind. I always try to put into the stories whatever pops up. This could just be someone that they were attracted to who is losing their allure. Now, I will say this is purely attraction, like physical attraction. There is, when we get simply an Ace of Wands card, yes, that is desire, but it doesn't have anything else to do with, admiration and appreciation of one's, like anything more than what attracts them. It doesn't have to do with, the admiration of someone's, grace and self-assuredness or, wisdom or anything like that, or accomplishments. And I think that they are a little stunned by the fact that they're like, oh my God, Scorpio is like incredible. Scorpio is absolutely stellar. They have all of these traits. They have all of this maturity. They have all these things that I didn't even know I have been seeking or that I had been missing from other connections. Queen of Cups. They are realizing, I don't know if there's something here about like they either would love to have children with Scorpio, or they're saying, I'm realizing that maybe that's not the life I would have with Scorpio. Maybe we wouldn't have children. Maybe instead we'd be giving rise to businesses and such. Four of Wands again. All I can say is, I'm because now I'm hearing that song, I Wish I Knew You When I Was Young. Is it possible that Scorpio and this person are at an age where they either aren't going to have kids and they're like, God, I can't believe this, but Scorpio is like exactly the kind of partner I'd want to have. I don't even know that I would say it's a bummer that maybe these two are not going to have babies. I don't even know why I'm saying they're not, other than we have a blockage here. And then we have the Queen of Cups, and she's pregnant. And we have them saying, like, I want everything with Scorpio. I want to have the entire life with Scorpio. I want to be in a long-term connection. I want to be married to Scorpio. I could picture that I could have had, like, maybe that's just it. They're saying, if I had met Scorpio, like when I was in my 20s, I would have already married Scorpio. I would have had this, long-lasting connection already. And maybe they're realizing in themselves, I want the house with the white picket fence. I want the long-lasting relationships. Maybe they were intentionally dating people that there wouldn't be a future with because they didn't really want a future with anybody. And then they meet Scorpio and it's like, oh my God, if I had met you before, I never even knew how badly I wanted that entire future. I wanted to have the kids. I wanted to drive the minivan. I wanted the whole thing. And I look at Scorpio and I go, dang, how come I didn't get to like already have all that? Because I want it all now. Every time we see them think about Scorpio, we see them thinking about marriage with Scorpio. Those are the cards we got. So I can't change what comes out. Let me take a look at what does Scorpio think of them? Because I'm going to say they are head over heels. They're smitten with Scorpio. Queen of Swords, the Hermit. So interesting because Scorpio maybe told this person that you need to go find yourself. This could be that Scorpio said something like, have you ever thought about just getting to know yourself better? I don't know. Did Scorpio tell this person off a little bit for like, how come you keep dating relationships that don't go anywhere? Maybe it's because you need a relationship with yourself first. We have 5 of Wands. Scorpio does think about this person. 7 of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands. I think Scorpio looks at this person and says, there's somebody lying to themselves. There's somebody intentionally avoiding dating anybody they could have in a long-term relationship with. And that is because they must have a scar that they're lying to themselves about. Okay, so hang on. Scorpio's totally got their number, I think. I feel like that's exactly what it is. That's exactly their revelation. And that seems like Scorpio's like, yeah, I kind of already saw that. Does Scorpio have any attraction for this person? 6 of Wands, High Priestess. This, to me, it's not that they have zero attraction, but we certainly see what I would say is Scorpio aware that this person has needed other successes in their life. And I just think Scorpio's looking at them going, anybody who's like, because I do think this person is like suave. I feel like they are successful in life. I think Scorpio's like, yeah, I mean, they look great in a tux. They look good. They're whatever, motorcycle racer. They, the crowd loves them. Like, it's hard not to be attracted to somebody who comes across as, like a winner, powerful. But I think Scorpio's like, yeah, but you know what? They do that because they need like something else to fill in the gaps of what they don't really have. The same reason they date people and they go into relationships where they're not going to go anywhere. They're trying to fill a hungry hole that they've got. I'm hearing Everybody's Got a Hungry Heart, Bruce Springsteen. It's interesting because I would say Scorpio is spot on with this character and what they see this character as. It's so funny because if Scorpio was like in a very non-confrontationally like kind of worded way, they just told this person that, I almost think that it completely hit home. And that might also be why they're like, oh my God, literally everything Scorpio said and nicely and calmly observed in me and went ahead and just said that to me. The only reason I think that Scorpio actually said it is because of the Queen of Swords energy that came off of them. But I think that they realized Scorpio actually told me something that was completely, yes, that was completely true. Is there an outcome here for these two? 10 of Wands. There's definitely changing energy here. Knight of Cups. I feel like this person is becoming like a better version of, we'll say, himself, just because he's been a King of Swords, although, of course, this could always be a same-sex couple or reverse gender role. But I would say Scorpio is definitely becoming a better version of themselves. And I think that looks amazing. I think that looks really, just really beautiful and like, okay, there we go. At long last, there we go. Scorpio is a much better version of themselves. Or excuse me, they are a much better version of themselves because they've met Scorpio and that's what they'll be presenting to Scorpio. I think that they just grew up because of that conversation that they had with Scorpio. Very nice, actually. All right, you guys, thanks for being here. Thanks so much for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I send you lots of love. Bye for right now.